Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan and thanks for joining us for our Wednesday weather update recorded on July the 10th. All eyes are on high pressure at the moment, but we do have low pressure coming back into the forecast next week. But let's take a look at the high pressure zone right now for Wednesday, going into Wednesday evening. And this is it, huge area of high pressure, stretching up to our friends in Fiji and Tonga and all the way down past the southern islands, all the way down to the Antarctic region. So this is a big high pressure zone, warmer air flows coming down towards Antarctica, and on the other side, you can't really see it so much for Wednesday, but as we go through Thursday, Antarctic southerlies come all the way up to our east, and that's going to form a new low pressure zone, which will bring in a little bit of cloud and showers for the eastern North Island. Otherwise, it's nothing to worry about. So let's take a look at Thursday's change. So the high gets taller, north to south. Now, if this was over in Tasmania, this setup would dredge up a big Antarctic southerly for the mainland of New Zealand. But because it is over the mainland, the wintry southerly over here is out past the Chatham Islands or over the Chatham Islands, but further to the east. And it's this wintry southerly out here that is going to form a new low pressure zone. So with that colder air offshore to our east, that will be coming in as a southerly here on Thursday, and then over the days ahead comes in as an east to southeasterly, depending on where you are. So the North Island does have some colder airflows in the mix, but for now, the high is in charge. And the higher the air pressure, the less likely you are to have clouds, although fog is certainly still a thing. You get fog pressed down into the valleys and then no wind to blow it away. So we can find that fog lingers for most places, or the places that get it, I should say. Now, as we go into Thursday lunchtime, this is the European modelling, a closer view at the air pressure. They're expecting 1045. Now, highs breathe like lungs. They can sort of go out and in all day long, and that changes the air pressure at the centre. The record in New Zealand, I believe, is 1045.9, so basically 1046. And so we're getting very, very close to it when you see a high like that. And we do see big highs like this from time to time, but they're usually just around the country, not directly over the top of us. Temperatures on Thursday, no great changes. It's still fairly mild in the north and fairly mild in the west over here with 13s on the west coast, but 6 degrees for places like Queenstown, Wanaka and other inland areas. All right, let's go to Friday. Now you can see that new low that's formed thanks to the colder southerly on the eastern side, on the right-hand side of this high pressure zone. The central air pressure still in the low 1040s. When you zoom out, it says 1040. You zoom in, 1041, 1042, something like that. Still pretty strong, and that is keeping the South Island pretty much protected. And the southeasterly flow keeps the rest of the North Island mostly sunny. And you'll notice that you've got the cloud and showers though over here. Won't be a lot of rain, just a few isolated showers around. But as we go into Saturday, the low gets a little deeper up here. The high is just to the south. And so between the two, a bit of a squash zone with easterly winds. They'll pick up a wee bit in coastal areas, and you'll see a bit of rain or showers because it's kind of patchy. It's not necessarily locked in all day long, but you've got some wet weather coming through here. But everybody else still settled because look at the air pressure, 1028, 1032, 1036. That is all very high air pressure, and the higher the air pressure pushing down, the less likely you are to get the clouds bubbling up. Let's go to Sunday. This is like our headline now, 3 lows and a high, because you've got this big high out to the east, 1035, a little bit of a glitch in the matrix there, but it's 1035, and this is 1005, 1006 air pressure. So that basically means there's quite a gradient between the two, and you'll feel that easterly breeze pushing into New Zealand. Now that'll turn more northeasterly for the South Island, stays pretty much southeasterly for much of the North Island, although the upper North Island has also got that northeasterly flow. So it's a little bit cooler in the eastern side, a few showers around, but there's actually not a lot of wet weather for Sunday itself. And not a lot of wet weather on Monday either, because the high weakens and moves further away from us. The low up here, not doing very much, but these two other lows out in the Tasman Sea are kind of getting together, organising a bit of a rain party, and this is it here on Monday with some rain or showers coming into Northland and potentially coming into Auckland later on. Just depends on the high that is departing, because like I say, they breathe like lungs, and so if they breathe in and it stretches the high out a bit, that can push back against that rain and slow it down. And likewise, if it shrinks a wee bit, that can speed the rain bands up as it moves into the New Zealand area. But certainly next week looks messier with low pressure. Mild weather for this time of the year as well continues on. And for those who keep asking about snow, not much in the forecast, unfortunately, for the next week or so. It's too dry and then it gets too warm here. But I do think after that, Australia's got a major cold blast coming through here on Tuesday. So fingers crossed it gets over to us to bring some snow, further snow, for the ski fields of New Zealand. That's all from me. A programming note, we have no video on Thursday, sorry. Luckily the weather's very quiet. Back again on Friday. We'll see you then.